The Child Advocacy Center of the Finger Lakes coordinates child abuse investigations in Ontario, Seneca, and Yates counties, seeing over 300 children annually. 1 in 7 children in the United States have experienced child abuse. 1 in 7. That is too many. This year has been tough for most of us in so many ways, but it has been toughest on those kids who already aren't safe at home and now have even fewer trusted adults to turn to. Stay at home does not necessarily mean safe at home for many children. Here at the Child Advocacy Center of the Finger Lakes, we provide a safe, child-friendly environment for children to talk with Child Protective Services and law enforcement about some of the most difficult things to talk about. We provide each child with an advocate and medical and mental health referrals. Our doors have not closed through the pandemic. Our staff has worked hard to ensure that we are here for our children. Well, initially we saw a drop in the number of reported cases. The cases we were seeing were far more severe. We have seen a steady increase in cases this fall, and as we move into the holidays, those numbers seem to be rising. We have had to make accommodations here to keep everyone safe from virus spread while continuing to serve families in need of support. We have had to upgrade our technology and have PPE available for everyone coming to the CAC. We have been able to keep our doors open with limited on-site staffing due to the ongoing and generous support of the community. I cannot express enough my gratitude for this community and the many ways people have stepped up during this difficult year.
Each year, the Child Advocacy Center provides our multidisciplinary team and community members with educational and training opportunities. Like everything else this year, we had to flex and create alternative ways to offer educational experiences. To provide professional development, we look to virtual platforms like Zoom, YouTube, and social media to reach our MDT and community audiences. Trainings were given on a variety of topics, including human trafficking, mental health, child and adolescent development, social media and online safety, reporting abuse, interviewing, and so much more. Even our 6th annual Belief Conference was conducted virtually this year, where attendees from across our region and state learned from national level speakers. We are happy to share that over 40 live trainings and 30 recorded webinars were provided during 2020 that reached an audience of more than 700 on training topics related to child abuse.
This year made us rethink ways to support each other and gather together while staying apart. We increased our social media presence, and the CACFL can now be found on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. With your likes and follows, you've helped increase awareness for the work being done at the Child Advocacy Center of the Finger Lakes. We hosted our first ever virtual auction in June with a live portion on our YouTube channel, which let us connect, be entertained, and raise funds while staying safe. In September, more than 80 runners and walkers laced up their sneakers for our first virtual 5K. And earlier this month, we took part in the annual Rock the Day fundraising event, raising enough to buy grocery gift cards for more than 20 families this holiday season. We're currently hosting our annual appeal, and those donations help us provide family advocacy, forensic interviews, community education, training sessions, and more toward our goal of offering support and hope to local kids and their families. Through the end of the year, we're also sponsoring a virtual production of a one-man rendition of A Christmas Carol. 100% of these proceeds will be used to support our CAC Angels program, because all children should have access to positive childhood experiences. With your help and support, we've raised more than $50,000 during this year of unprecedented change and uncertainty. We cannot thank you enough for your continued support.
The work done at our Child Advocacy Center couldn't happen without our Child Abuse Response Team, also known as CART. This team includes law enforcement, Child Protective Services, advocates, district and county attorneys, forensic interviewers, mental health counselors, medical staff, and school district staff. Our CART members meet monthly in Ontario, Seneca, and Yates counties with the goal to address the needs of children and their families, to determine a course of action, and to thoroughly review all aspects of the case. This also allows the team an opportunity to discuss the investigation, prosecution, and intervention of child abuse cases. While the pandemic changed the way we do our job, where kids were in school and in other settings near trusted adults, and we met virtually instead of in person, our CART members did not stop working for kids.
This year, we had 47 CAC Angels. Our angels provided things like bedding for children who may have had to move and leave theirs behind, weighted blankets or weighted stuffed animals to help with anxiety, winter items such as coats, boots, hats, and gloves for kids who did not have any, Christmas gifts for children whose parents or caregivers did not have the resources to buy the gifts themselves. In addition, before the pandemic, our angels would help to provide children with the opportunity to attend things like art classes, karate classes, or summer camp. These are just a few samples of what the CAC Angels do to help children throughout the year who receive services through the Child Advocacy Center of the Finger Lakes. If you would like to help children in our community by becoming a CAC Angel, you can go to our website, cacfingerlakes.org, call our main office at 585-394-2573, or email me, Tina, T-I-N-A, at cacfingerlakes.org.
Forensic interviewing is an integral part of the services that are provided at the Child Advocacy Center. The forensic interview is one piece of the investigation in a case of suspected child abuse. If there are allegations of child sexual or physical abuse, a law enforcement officer or child protective investigator will contact the Child Advocacy Center to set up an interview. The Child Advocacy Center of the Finger Lakes has forensic interviewers that provide interviewing services for Ontario, Seneca, and Yates County. We have conducted over 230 interviews of children in 2020. COVID has certainly brought a host of challenges to the forensic interviewing process. When children are in the interview room, both the child and the interviewer wear masks. At times, this has proven to be a challenge when trying to understand what a child is saying. Other times, we're lucky if the child can keep the mask on their tiny little faces. Although we may not have interviewed as many children as last year, we have been keeping busy during the pandemic. We have trained a new interviewer, held peer review sessions, taken advantage of online trainings, and attended monthly case review meetings.
As a forensic interviewer, I can attest to the tremendous impact a child's comfort level at the CAC has on the success of the interview process. From the moment a child arrives at the CAC, they are greeted by one of the friendly advocates. Advocates are able to answer any questions the child or family still have about the interview process, and they can help put them to ease. Before I talk to a child, advocate or myself takes the time to give the child a full tour of the center and introduce them to other members of our team. During the interview, the advocate remains in the waiting room with the supportive caregiver who accompanied the child to the CAC. Caregivers can continue to ask questions, discuss concerns, and get valuable information and referrals from the advocate. After the interview is complete, the caregiver can have an opportunity to get updates from the team while the advocate reassures the child of their strength and bravery. Each child leaves the CAC with a comfort item such as a stuffed animal or a care package, as well as a way to reach their advocate.
The Child Advocacy Center of the Finger Lakes is part of a dedicated multidisciplinary team that works tirelessly to help children and families in our communities. Every case is handled from the very beginning utilizing this multidisciplinary approach. This is done to ensure we are providing child-centered services and making every effort to minimize further trauma to a child. This team of dedicated professionals continue to work together following the forensic interview at the Child Advocacy Center. In an effort to ensure every child is connected to necessary supports and services, all cases are reviewed by this multidisciplinary team at our monthly child abuse response team meetings. These meetings allow for vital interactions and communication among the team regarding cases and help us ensure we are providing the best possible services to each and every child. 2020 has certainly presented us with new and more challenging situations as we navigate through the COVID-19 pandemic. The Child Advocacy Center of the Finger Lakes has continued to provide services to children and families throughout the pandemic. We have made numerous modifications to the ways in which we provide services at the Child Advocacy Center to continue to provide the safest place for children and their families. The pandemic, even with its new set of challenges, has not stopped our team from continuing to help children the best way we can. I want to take a moment to thank our teams for your continued dedication to the children and families that we serve. I also want to thank all of our supporters for your kindness and continued support throughout 2020. Here at the Child Advocacy Center, we want to send you well wishes for a happy, healthy, and safe 2021.